Imagine being able to supply heavy-duty base-load electricity to cities and industries, provide cheap and efficient district heating on a large scale, give process heat to factories from smelting of minerals to shipbuilding and steel production and production of pulp and paper, have thermal pipelines beneath all the roads in a city to de-ice them automatically in winter, run large-scale greenhouse farming installations to boost food security, and power a range of agro-processing operations that generate rural employment in remote areas. All on a continuous, environmentally sustainable, assured and reliable basis with complete control over the energy source and power pricing, while earning carbon credits as well. This is the unique advantage provided by geothermal energy, which makes use of the natural heat of the Earth's interior in the form of steam and hot water piped directly for thermal applications or run through turbines to generate electricity. The assurance of robust power for decades without burning any fuel. It's this assurance that makes geothermal attractive to investors, energy entrepreneurs, environmentalists and governments alike. The challenge for geothermal is in the exploration and drilling. You have to locate a reliable source of geothermal energy that will generate assured power for a long time. For this, a geothermal developer needs to invest at least $18 million without having the certainty of recovery. In some ways, it's similar to the challenges that face the oil sector in its early days. But there are important differences as well. It is this resource risk that poses the largest financial obstacle for geothermal development. For one thing, policy support to geothermal is growing all over the world as economies strive to supplement or replace fossil fuels with green energy to combat global warming and oil price uncertainties. This support can take the form of waiving of import tax and giving tax holidays for the first 7 to 10 years of operation. Or, as in places like Kenya for example, it can be through large public drilling programs that take care of all the important steps of identifying viable resources. Besides this, development banks too are stepping in with risk mitigation funds to boost this sector in a big way.
It's a given that price of conventional energy sources, oil and gas and coal, prices will rise. So, which will, by the end of the day, mean that alternative sources of energy will get cheaper relatively compared with these traditional sources of energy. So it's a question of time, and the price for a geothermal generated megawatt is the same as for a coal generated megawatt. And if you even look further into the future, coal will get more expensive in time. And while we think that geothermal, there's still enough potential to be exploited, that geothermal costs will stay rather flat for the coming years.
In addition to all this support, many economies are also exploring innovations such as feed-in tariff or FIT funds in conjunction with power purchase agreements, which take advantage of the increasingly attractive terms for geothermal energy over time. However, the biggest obstacle to finance the cost of the first exploration well still remains a challenge. A challenge the World Bank, the IFC, and other development finance organizations have not yet found an adequate answer for. But once this challenge is met, the biggest USP or unique selling proposition with geothermal is that electricity pricing becomes a fixed known quantity based largely on initial exploration and development cost. Once the wells are operational, running costs are relatively small because there are no fuel costs other than the cost of make-up wells. From this point on, it's profits all the way as fuel-free energy keeps gushing out of the earth. From the perspective of the economy, there's an added benefit now. Because it's independent of volatile prices of fossil fuels, geothermal starts lowering the market price for electricity, unlocking ratepayer and taxpayer savings in a big way, and reducing a major energy component of industrial input costs. Once the geothermal resource is confirmed, the assurance of guaranteed returns over a long period also makes buying into geothermal a gilt-edged investment. The safety factor allows even conservative investors like pension funds to take part, which means access to population-wide fund sourcing. And the green factor means that we are all, in a larger sense, investing in our planet's future. Whichever way you look at it, geothermal makes sense. Investment sense, technological sense, ecological sense, economic and employment sense, and most of all, energy sense. After all, what else would you expect when the ultimate backer for this technology is the Earth itself?